Happy Monday, everybody. Not a happy weekend for the New York Mets. You're watching Mets Daily. Make sure you smash that thumbs up. You subscribe to the channel. I'm Jake Brown at Jake Brown Radio. Become a Mets Daily Insider for just $5 a month. First exclusive video will drop this weekend. We had to push it back to this weekend, but watch party this week. We'll let you know very soon. It's probably going to be this Brave series. Stay tuned. I'll be at Mets Phillies this weekend. So click that join button below. Become a Mets Daily Insider for just $4.99 a month. Cheaper than a cup of coffee. Brutal weekend for the Mets. And, this team was long overdue for a bad series. A no good, very bad day. Whatever book that was from, children's book. The Mets played like children this weekend. And it was the first time they were swept all year. And listen, no pitching, no offense, not enough offense, you lose. And let's just go over what happened. Friday, Clay Holmes, great, 5 innings. Why is he pulled? You have a 5-1 lead. Why is Paul Blackburn going into a role that he's never done before? I know he had a relief outing against the Rockies. In garbage time, it was a blowout, but this was a 4-run game, not a 10-run game. And he imploded. Max Kranick continues to struggle. After that great first month, he has come down very much to earth, and the Mets lose 7-5 Friday. Frustrating loss, but you wipe it away, try to win Saturday. Boom, Saturday, Tyler McGill. I have seen enough of Tyler McGill. He cannot be a starting pitcher here. He should not be starting. I don't want to be. I'll be in the building Friday at Citizens Bank Park. Tyler McGill better not be. Enough. Give one of the young kids a shot. Nolan McLean, another great outing Sunday. Perfect. Timing lines up where he's due to pitch Friday. Give me Nolan McLean Friday in Philadelphia. No Tyler McGill. We know what he is. He could be successful, maybe an inning or two relief. No more starting Tyler McGill. That experiment has got to end. He gets charged with only 3 earned runs because an error on his own doesn't get charged to him, which I think is dumb. If a pitcher makes an error, those runs should be charged to him. So his ERA wasn't that hurt. He was hurt. He stunk. Enough. Tyler McGill has had great moments for the Mets, but when push comes to shove, the more starts he gets, the worse he looks. And I think he could be effective with his 5-pitch arsenal as a 1-inning reliever, maybe at some point. But right now, you got to either send him down or send him to the bullpen. Stop throwing him out there every 5 or 6 days. The Mets don't have a lot of possibilities because Sanka's on the IL now. He's going to get reevaluated in 2 weeks. Luckily, a low-grade hamstring strain, so I expect him back by late July. Monta's still working his way back. We'll talk about that in a couple minutes. Manaea working his way back. We'll talk about that in a couple minutes. But give me one of these young kids. Spro's probably not ready. Give me Tidwell, but really give me McLean. He's got a sub-2 ERA. He's been great in AAA. Give this kid a shot on Friday in Philadelphia because we don't need to see Tyler McGill back out there. And then on Sunday, listen, the offense did nothing. You're not going to win when you score 0 runs. And Griffin Canning, you're not going to win when he has 5 walks. Griffin Canning was terrible today. And let's keep it real. Griffin Canning has been a revelation for this team. But when push comes to shove, he is a career 4.6 ERA pitcher. He has pitched over his head. He's been great for the Mets. But the reality is he's not going to be that great as he was the first 2 months all year. He's just not. So he gave up 6 earned runs, 5 walks, 4 hits, 6 earned runs. Absolutely terrible outing. His ERA has ballooned now to 3.8. This was a guy that about 2 weeks ago had a 2.5 ERA. And Griffin Canning has come down to earth. And the real thing is he's a 6th starter. He was brought in to be the Mets' 6th starter. And that's the way he's been pitching the last couple outings. 6 runs, 4 runs. He had the 0 run against the Dodgers. 5 runs, 3 of them earned, 3 earned runs. So he's come down to earth. He still had a great season. He still should be pitching the next time around. But we just got to be cautious to not put Griffin Canning on this, Cy Young arsenal up here. He's a number 5. He's a number 5 or 6 starter, and that's what he'll continue to be for the Mets. But here's the good news. After, the Rays, spanked the Mets, those are the 6th, 7th, and 8th Mets starting pitchers that blew this series or gave up runs. Canning is probably their 6th. Blackburn, who blew the game Friday after Clay Holmes only went 5, should have went into the 6th. I don't understand that decision. Is not going to be on the team potentially in a month because he's trade bait. And Tyler McGill shouldn't be on this roster. So as bad as this series one was, we got to remember the Mets have some guys down, and they just threw their 3 worst starting pitchers out there. So I don't want people to say season over, this team stinks, look at all the holes that they have. The reality is the Rays are good. The Rays are a wild card. Season end today. The Rays are a playoff team. And these were not the Mets' best that they threw out there. And they're not guys who are going to be on the playoff roster in all likelihood. So take a deep breath, enjoy the off day Monday, and just understand that these things happen. Great teams get swept, and the Mets got swept for the first time. It took them nearly in the entire first half of the year to get swept, so it happens. Does this team need help? Yes, and that brings me to my next point on today's show is, could the Mets get Aroldis Chapman from the Boston Red Sox? The Red Sox Sunday, we all got the notification, the massive news, Rafael Devers traded to the Giants, and it's still hard to fathom that this deal happened because you're thinking to yourself, that's it? Like, he's gone? And the trade was for Kyle Harrison, who was supposed to pitch Sunday night, pitcher, right-hander Jordan Hicks, outfield prospect James Tibbs, and another prospect in the deal. Jose Bello was the other prospect. So Rafael Devers, the Red Sox eating all that money. I know a lot of Met fans say we could have done this deal, but the reality is Devers is either third baseman or DH, and he's owed 8 years left on that deal of over $220 million. So it's another massive contract the Mets would have had to have. Doesn't have much flexibility. He's third or DH, and the Mets have so many third basemen. Not that they're all great ones, but you got Vientos, you got Beatty, you got Mauricio, you got Acuna. Like, they kind of have too many there as a logjam that getting Devers and then having him be your DH, great, but you're still paying him a ton. And because of the Mets' luxury tax issues, they're paying double. It just wouldn't make sense to get Devers, but a great deal. And now the Giants, another team in the National League the Mets got to worry about, who already are in playoff contention, but man, Giants are going all in. This is a massive trade for their lineup. But you got to be thinking now, the Red Sox, who are in the wild card race themselves, they're tied for a wild card spot. What are they doing here? And are they going to be sellers now? So you got to think Chapman is definitely available as a rental out of this bullpen. And the year Chapman's having, he's been remarkable for the Red Sox. 1.55 ERA, 29 innings, just 5 earned runs, 16 hits, and 39 strikeouts. Chapman's been one of the best relievers in the sport, so the Mets could be all over him. And could they land Jared Durant? If the Red Sox are open for business, Mets got to be thinking, yeah, we'd love an upgrade from Tyrone Taylor. We all like Tyrone Taylor, but we'd like Jared Durant a lot more, and I think he'd be a huge upgrade. And we talk about Cedric Mullins. I think Durant is better than Mullins, and Durant is under contract. He's arbitration eligible the next couple of years where he won't cost you a lot. I would love Jared Durant here, but if you're the Mets should be calling the Red Sox right now and say, hey, you ready to give up Chapman too? I can't imagine for a rental like Chapman, if the Mets pay the rest of his contract, which is the remainder of this season, would cost them a boatload. But you got to start to think, hey, can we get Durant and Chapman? We talked about Durant last week on the show and those rumors, but you got to be thinking to yourself, for the Mets, call the Red Sox. If they're trading Rafael Devers, they're probably open to trading more. So we'll see as that situation develops and where they're at in the standings. The American League's wide open, where I think the Red Sox should still be mindful of keeping some of these guys. But you got to think Story becomes available. Maybe Yoshida becomes available. Red Sox sellers, Mets buyers. Mets got to be ready to buy. And I'm not talking in sync. Buy. Mets got to be buyers. And it's, last year you kind of dipped your toe in with your moves with Winker and Stanek. Stanek, who's, by the way, been terrible so far this year. You got to be buyers, and the Mets got to be thinking big fish. And it might not be Alcantara has been terrible this year, but you got to be looking for a frontline starter. You got to be looking for dominant relief help and looking for a bat if you can add it. I want to see Stearns be aggressive this summer because you got to be all in. This is a championship caliber Mets team. I know you don't think so. Some of you, after what you saw this weekend, the fact is they are, and they got to be buy. And I would call for Chapman and call for Jaron Durant. And the Mets hoping to get reinforcements back. Brett Beatty, a groin injury from Sunday's day-to-day, so he probably won't be in the lineup on Tuesday when the Mets face the Braves. Schwellenbach on the mound. Mark Vientos will begin rehab in AAA Tuesday. See Vientos there, the bobblehead. Put that up there. He will begin rehab in AAA. So Mark Vientos could be back this weekend against the Phillies. Sean Manaea struggled in another rehab outing for Brooklyn. He went 56 pitches, gave up 4 runs, though, in an inning and 2/3. Frankie Montas gave up 8 runs the other day in a rehab outing. I don't know what they're going to do with Montas. He's got one more rehab start, then his 30-day window closes, and the Mets got to decide, is he not ready? Are we keeping him on the IL? Are we making him a reliever, or are we giving him a chance to start? In my opinion, I give him a chance to start 1 or 2 times and then see what happens, because Tyler McGill's been bad too. So if Montas blows for an outing, then maybe move to the bullpen. I don't look at Blackburn and Montas as guys that can be effective relievers. They just don't have the kind of stuff that plays as a reliever. So if Montas blows as a starter, you move to the bullpen, fine. He's probably a mop-up guy. That might just be a contract that, Stearns messed up on. He's hit on almost everything. That's one, as of now, it looks bad, but we got to see him. And I'm not worried at all about Sean Manaea. He's going to be fine. But the fact that Montas in almost every rehab outing has been bad is a little bit alarming. He does look a little bigger. I don't know if he put on some pounds, but does look a little bigger. Maybe it's the low-quality video footage from these rehab outings. But, Manaea probably back sometime July, late July for Senga. Montas, we'll see after this next rehab outing. He could be back with the Mets in a week, or the Mets say, you know what, he's not ready for the big league. So we'll find out soon. Well, happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there. Obviously, you're watching this on Monday, but shout out to all the fathers. Shout out to my dad. Thank you for getting me into baseball as a kid and taking me to those card shows, keeping our home opener tradition alive for 22 straight years, taking me to games growing up. I love sports. It's been a passion of mine. I've made it a career. So I thank you for getting me into it, because not everyone loves baseball. I've talked to people who call it boring, who don't love it. I got into it young, and I wasn't a good player, but I realized how much I love watching, how much I love going to the games, and Citi Field's my sanctuary. That is my place that makes me forget about everything else going on in the world and realizing how much I love the Mets and how much I love this sport. So shout out to my dad. Shout out to my brother, Robert. Happy Father's Day to him and his nephew. Happy Father's Day to Ben, who is a father now this year as well. So happy Father's Day to my family. Subscribe to Mets Daily. Smash that thumbs up. Let us know in the comments. Are you panicking over the weekend? 10-game stretch coming up that is huge for the Mets, and you hope it's not a June swoon. Braves, Phillies, Braves. 10 big games, division foes, a chance to widen the gap or make it a little bit tighter, as the lead is around 2.5 in the NL East. It's getting close. So big stretch coming up. We'll talk about it more tomorrow. Get you ready for this big Mets-Braves series. Again, become a Mets Daily Insider. $5 a month. We're having a watch party, one of these games versus the Braves, so stay tuned for that. First exclusive weekend video coming over the weekend, so stay tuned for that. Subscribe, click join, follow me at Jake Brown Radio, and follow us at Mets Daily Show on Twitter as well. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. Have a great day. Enjoy the day off. No Mets baseball. They're not losing today. They're not winning. So go enjoy your evening away from the Mets, and thanks for watching Mets Daily. We'll talk to you tomorrow, everybody. And why I'm wearing this, I was on Pix 11 last night, so we have a nice, crazy, funky shirt for our TV appearance. So check that out on my social channels at Jake Brown Radio. Thanks for watching.